boys and girls. I'm glad you decided to join me for this Alabama adventure of Roman rural Alabama. And that's what we're going to be doing tonight. But anyway, what I want to tell you first, a few videos back, I went down to West Point, Georgia, on West Point Lake down there. And I did a little video showing you what the lake looked like. And it was wintertime when we did this. And I had several of you to say that you would like to see the lake when it fills up. So the lake is almost full now. I had to go back down that way one day last week. And as I said, the lake is almost full now. So I just decided while I was there, so I wouldn't have to make another trip back down there, that I would shoot a little video of the same area that we shot in this other video. And that's what we did. Anyway, I want to show you that and tell you about that to let you see what this very beautiful lake looks like. And I look back over time. I did the video telling you about the day that the bank got robbed. That's when I was working down there on West Point Lake and everything. But anyway, you might want to check that video out sometime. It was a sort of a long video, but there was a lot of stuff that I wanted to tell you that went on down there that day when the bank got robbed. And I sort of, not actually became a part of it, but sort of got involved with it a little bit. Anyway, I've got some other things I want to tell you about tonight. This won't be just a going down to West Point Lake. I want to tell you about some reports that I have received over the week from Ed, our friend up in Bankhead National Forest. And if you remember Hiker Dave, we've done a couple of videos from pictures he sent. He didn't send any pictures this time. He sent me a little report, and I want to mention some of that a little bit later on. I also have some, I want to do a little segment. You might want to just skip over it. I'll label it to where I complain and explain some things. A man today gave me a rough time on some of the videos that I've been doing. And anyway, that's just the way it is sometimes. I know when you're doing these videos, you're always going to have people that like them and people that don't like them. But this was a very good friend of mine, and he gave me a pretty rough time today, and I want to tell you about that. Let me check notes right quick and see what else we've got to talk about. Oh, over the past week, as I was doing some roaming around and had some running around I had to do, I ran upon a lot of old cars this week. And I stopped at one place where there was several, but they wouldn't let me video them for whatever the reason. I did manage to get the video some, and I'm going to show you some old cars here at the end of the video. Anyway, let's see if we can get things started. Alrighty, I almost went to the next segment too quick. I have got some other things I want to show you. I was at Horseshoe Bend, and I'm sure you're saying, well, you stay down there. And I always like to go by Horseshoe Bend whenever I'm in that area, every chance I get. I managed to get some pictures of some Canadian geese that were walking around down there. I guess Brent from up in the Saskatchewan sent those down just so I could video them. Appreciate it, Brent. I hadn't mentioned Brent on the videos yet, but he's another good friend that I have met doing these videos, and he's from the Saskatchewan, Canada. So anyway, let me check my notes again, so maybe I get everything this time. Let me get my glasses on. I also was out roaming around and saw this big red-tailed hawk sitting on a chimney. I got a picture of him. I want you to see. He's not real up close, but anyway, at least he was a big red-tailed hawk. And it was if somebody does oil paintings and that type of stuff, or acrylic paintings or whatever, this would make a very beautiful picture. And then I believe I got a picture of a Bigfoot this week, and I want you to look at that picture in just a few minutes and tell me what you think it is. Is this a Bigfoot or is it something else? It certainly looks like one to me, and I'll explain a little bit more of it whenever we get there.
And now, from the tail end of the Appalachian mountain chain in the heart of the South, this is Alabama Adventures.
Alrighty, boys and girls, we're back down here at Veasey Creek Park again today, and I did a video on this earlier this year when the weather was cold, and I told you I'd come back and show it to you what it looked like whenever the lake filled up. And we're going to go out there and see how much it's backed up now. It's getting some warm weather. Leaves are getting back on what few trees we have left here in the state. There's probably 100 here left, but anyway, we're going to go out to Veasey Creek Park. I'm going to show you what it looks like now, hopefully with the lake full. And I hear a rooster behind me over here crowing. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon. I guess he's running a little bit late today. Okay, I'm going to try to catch that sign right there as we go by it. Everything looks a little bit different than what it did, but anyway, we'll see what we got. Okay, now this is the area down close to the boat ramp that was in the other video, and I'll just drive around the little road here. You see the picnic table. Everything's looking ready for summertime. Right down there is the pavilion. Nice down there today, pretty shady. But as you can see, the water's coming on up to summertime level. Maybe some wind on the camera because we got a pretty good little breeze down here today. They said they just had to get on the video. They just couldn't stand it. Of course, we got somebody that's done launched the boat. And we got somebody here with 4 lawnmowers. Now that's somebody that's got more dollars than cents. What would you want with 4 lawnmowers to come go fishing? I guess he's gonna keep the water trimmed pretty good so the fish's hair won't get long. Okay, and I'm just gonna put the camera in my dirty windshield, and we're gonna ride down through here where we did the last time and see how everything's looking. Alrighty, got the gate open and we're gonna go on through. Let me swing right over here so we can get this. If you remember that, it was way down low last time we went here, but it's looking a whole lot better. You can see water all back up through there. Here's some shady picnic area. Trying to let the window down. There we go. It'll work after a while. Picnic area there. A good looking little guardrail. But you can see all of Lake West Point, a lot of it, all in the background. Here's another little picnic area, and you see some tables and of course the water. Water really looks good out there now that it's beginning to back up. I'll kind of ease on around. There's the bathroom we saw the last time, and like it'll be good and comfortable in there today with all that shade. Let's make this little loop and we'll head on back to the shack in a few minutes. All right, now let me give you just a little fan of the lake out there to where you kind of see it. The wind is blowing, so there's probably going to be a little wind noise on here, but anyway, sometimes you just have to put up with stuff. And there's a picnic table right on the shore, and then here's another one right down here, and another one right on the shore, but they all seem to be under shade. And we'll swing on around. There's the pavilion that we saw the last time, and I was looking here on the ground. There's somebody's used fork. Now that's something you won't see every time you come over here, is a used black fork. But there's a crow in that tree. I just saw him fly up there, and maybe that'll pick that up a little bit. There he's moving around, checking us out to see what we're doing. But surprised he's not hawing or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, Just wanted to let you see a little bit of the lake while we were down here. How it's beginning to turn green, filling up. Thought I'd walk over a little bit closer and get a little better shot of the pavilion. And of course you can see the lake in the background. Very, very cool, very nice over here today with this breeze. I'll fan on around, and there's the little road that leads in here into it. Right over there is the pea house, bathroom. And if you get down this way, be sure to look for a trash can number 2020. That's him right there. And then you'll say, well, this was where Sasquatch Jim was doing the video that day, right here at trash can 2020. Now, as I said, you just have to overlook that windshield. The pollen's keeping it real dirty, and I'm not keeping it clean. And we're leaving the park. Okay, so we got on back to the shack, and you know, every time I go down there to West Point Lake, it's in the back of my mind. I think about it. I think about it with pride that I was a part in building that particular backwater lake down there. It's a very beautiful lake, and it just makes you feel good inside to know that you were a part of building something like it. And so many people enjoy it, and so many people like going down there. It just doing something like that makes you feel good about yourself sometimes. Well, all right, there we go. I hope you enjoyed that little tour or a revisit of Veasey Park down around West Point, Georgia. Very nice park down there. I'm planning on going down there some myself heck over the summer. And would be good to see you down there sometime. Anyway, with that segment, let's get to the next segment. I want to do this one real quick and get it out of the way. The segment about complain and explain. Now, as most of you know, about 3 or 4 years ago, I had some trouble with my eyes, and I still do have trouble with my eyes. That's what, I guess you could still call him a friend. I don't know. I'll think about that. But anyway, he gave me a rough time today, saying that he'd been watching videos on YouTube and everything, and he could tell when somebody was telling a lie. They went to blinking their eye or winking their eye and that type of stuff. And this eye over here does blink, and it does wink when it feels like it. I'm not aware that that eye blinks and winks as much as it does. I thought I had explained this in a video a while back, that I had numerous surgeries on this particular eye, on this left eye, and they could not save it. I am blind in that eye. Now, I'm not wanting your sympathy, and I'm not wanting pity. I'm just telling you why the eye blinks. I don't do it to be winking at somebody or blinking my eye at somebody, whatever you want to call it. And I certainly don't do it because I'm telling a lie. But that was what he talked about today, was he could tell when anybody was telling a lie on these videos. They went to blinking their eyes, and he had some other things to say that I didn't particularly like. But that's what I wanted to complain about and explain. Once again, that is why this left eye blinks from time to time, and I do not know it's blinking. I don't have any control over it. As I said, they did surgeries on it. It was from diabetic retinopathy, and I'm sure he'll have to try to write that down and look it up to see what it means. That's what caused the blindness in my eye, and that's why I had to have so many surgeries. But as I said, it could not be saved, and the blinking is just an after effect or a side effect or whatever you want to call it from all the surgery and that they did on that particular eye. So if that bothers you, I'm sorry. There's nothing, absolutely nothing that I can do about it. One other little thing I do want to add before we move on to the next segment is when you go to talking about people like that, making fun of things they can't help or stuff like that, beware of karma. Karma will come around real quick and bite you in the butt, and you won't be expecting it. And something could happen to you whenever you do talk about people or make fun of things that they cannot help. It can certainly come back home to you. I see karma every day. You do just need to be careful of what you say and what you do to other people, because as I said, karma, or if you don't know what karma is, it's what you put out in the world will certainly come back to you sometimes, or it always will. It may take it a while, but it'll come back around, and as I said, it'll bite you hard in the butt. Well, all right, and now that I've got that off my chest and kind of explained to you about this eye again, let's move on to our next segment, and it comes from Hiker Dan over in Tuscaloosa County. I want to read part of his email that he sent me earlier this week. He says, I can't say that my experiences has anything to do with a Bigfoot or a family of them. I don't know what it is that has been throwing small rocks at me and followed me while hiking, but it started last May and June in North Tuscaloosa County. I heard a sound that in my 40-something years and being in the outdoors, I have never heard before, and I don't know how to duplicate it or to explain it to anyone, but that day prompted me to go online and to try to find some answers about what was going on. And that's how he found our site and everything. I'm glad that he did. But anyway, Dan, I believe that you probably got some Bigfoot friends over there that are keeping an eye on you. They're probably just wanting to play with you with the rocks until they actually go to hitting you. If they're just throwing them at you, it's probably some young ones just out having a good time or something similar to that. But just be careful while you're out there. And anybody else that's experiencing the same thing, you do need to just be careful. Talk to them is about all I can tell you. Tell them you're not in there to harm them or anything like that. You're just out because you enjoy nature, you enjoy their home and walking through it or whatever. Just anything to sort of keep the peace down, and I believe they won't bother you. Okay, that was what email that we got from Hiker Dan this week. So now let's go back up to Bankhead Forest with Ed up there. He's had a little something happen that he wants to tell us about. All right, now, as you know, Ed does a lot of investigation and research up in the Bankhead National Forest. And he sent me an email earlier this week also saying that one night this week that his son and some of his friends were out fishing. They'd been out there for a little while. I believe it was at nighttime. And they began to have large rocks thrown at them, hitting the water. He said the way that they would hit the water, you could tell that they were very large rocks. And so he went up there to do a little investigation to see what he could find. And now this is in Marion County here in Alabama. So he went up there the next day or so to see what he could find. And he said he believed from what he saw that Bigfoot is in the area. And he's going to be doing some more investigation up there. Said he is going to make a week-long investigation up there shortly. And he's carrying state-of-the-art equipment with him to see what he can capture on video or record, that type of stuff. And we're looking real forward to when he does and what he sends to us. I'll be sure to put it on here to share it with all of y'all out there. So maybe it will help some other researchers and stuff to prove that Bigfoot does exist, which we all already know. But there's just a certain amount of people in the world that it doesn't matter if I had one in here with me right now and he was doing most of the narration on this video, people wouldn't believe it. But anyway, I am looking forward to what Ed finds. And I will sure bring it to you as soon as he passes it along to us. I am hoping to meet Ed pretty soon. I had actually planned to meet him one day last week, and I had something to come up that I could not make the trip over there. But anyway, hopefully pretty soon I get to meet him. I do have something that I want to talk to Ed about and see what he thinks about it. Here, I guess it's probably been 3 or 4 years ago now, I had a Air Force man to come up, and I had several to come up, and we talked about a UFO video that I had done about that a little bit before they got here, and that's what we talked about mainly. But anyway, this man that was in the Air Force told me some things, gave me some pointers, I guess you would call it, on how we might get some good pictures of Bigfoot and that type of stuff. and I do want to pass that along to Ed as soon as I can talk to him face to face. I don't want to send it through the email because somebody might get a hold of that email, and I do not want to talk on the phone because you never know when somebody next door may have one of those listening devices and is listening to everything you say. You just sort of have to be careful today. But I do have a couple of experiments that I would like for him to try to see how this works as far as getting pictures and videos and recordings of Bigfoot. Hope you get to talk to you soon, Ed. And I hope you get to talk to you soon also, Dan, over in Tuscaloosa County. I'm going to try my best to make plans to get over in Tuscaloosa County, hopefully sometime early this summer. And all right, we'll just keep moving along tonight. We're going into the next segment that I want to show you these Canadian geese. I believe that's what they are, Canadian geese. That's what I was told that they were whenever I showed somebody a picture of them that I made. They said, oh, those are Canadian geese. And I'm going to credit Brent up in the Saskatchewan for sending those geese down and letting me get them videoed down here in Alabama. If sometime, Brent, you have time to get out and make us some pictures of how the Saskatchewan looks up there. The Saskatchewan, for some reason, has always been a fascinating place to me. I remember when I was young watching movies and they would be talking about the Saskatchewan and that type of stuff. It just seemed like a fascinating place that I would really enjoy visiting. And as I said, if you do have time, sometime get out and make us some pictures of some of that beautiful scenery up there, and I'll sure put them on here and give you credit for it. So anyway, let's look at Brent's Saskatchewan Canadian geese. Alrighty, now the next thing I want to show you is a picture of a red-tailed hawk sitting on an old rock chimney. I just happened to be going down the road, and he came sailing in from my right side and landed on this chimney, so I hit the brakes and tried not to make a lot of noise and frighten him off, and I managed to get a picture. It's not a real good picture, but anyway, you can tell that it's a big old red-tailed hawk sitting on this rock chimney. I wish I had a better camera, but cameras are kind of expensive, and just not able to afford one right now with all the medical bills that I am still paying on from this heart attack I had a while back, and I guess I will be for a while. But anyway, maybe one of these days I'll get a better camera where I can get better close-ups of like the geese and the red-tailed hawk. But I do want you to see him. Alrighty, we're moving right along in the video tonight. We're coming pretty much to the end of it. But I want you to look at this picture here. I was riding down the road, and I saw what looks like some Bigfoot signs up in the woods, some bent trees and some crosses and some teepees and that type of stuff. And anyway, I was trying to get some pictures of it. And I made several as I eased down the road. I had stopped several times making pictures. But anyway, when I got back home and downloaded these pictures, I saw this in one of them. And it looks like a Bigfoot. It doesn't look like he's not standing exactly straight up. It looks like he's kind of bent over and he's got one arm thrown out. Maybe he's a young Bigfoot, or maybe something's wrong with him. But anyway, you look at the picture and see what you think. Is this a Bigfoot or is this something else? I had it on the computer and I blew it up as large as I could make it on there. And it looks like you can see fur or hair on this thing. So anyway, you look at it and see what you think. All right, now as the video is winding on down, I got a couple old things, more than a couple of things I want you to look at real quick. It's some old cars and some old trucks that I managed to get videoed last week. Some of them are pretty good looking, some of them are in pretty rough shape. But anyway, just thought you might like to see them because I like to look at old cars sometimes. Okay, now boys and girls, I want to add this into the video real quick. You know how I always like history, lost history, that type of stuff. I found something up here in Clay County as I was going down the road today that I want to video right quick and show you right quick. I don't know anything about it, but I'm going to show it to you. This says Schoolhouse Hill. First school in Bluff Springs, Alabama was located right along here somewhere. And somebody has put a sign up, and anyway, I thought, well, that's a little bit of Alabama history that nobody knows about except a few people in this area. So I thought I would show that to you today. Right in there you can see the front end of an old tractor sitting down there in those weeds. If you look real close. And then there's an old dump truck.